with our perfect posture, as we always do. So you want to start with your heels just under your hips, soft and relaxed through your knees, and then your hands just hanging down by your thighs. Okay, once you're here, just gently turn your palms into your thighs so it opens your chest and just gently brings your shoulder blades together. Keep the length through your spine, so you're pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, which is going to ease into our pelvic tilts. Now it's a very, very small movement, and we're just trying to bring some movement into our lower back. I'm going to move my hands so you can see. You want to scoop your tailbone under so it lengthens your lower back, and then allow your tailbone to lift. As you breathe out, you're going to pull your pubic bone upwards towards your rib cage, and as you breathe in, you almost let your hips slide away. So again, breathe out, tuck, and then you're almost zipping up from your pubic bone up towards your rib cage. Now we're just going to do a couple more there, just get a little bit of movement and a little bit of stretch into our lower back and feel a little connection into our core. So this time as you come into your tuck, you're going to gently hold that tuck, keeping the tailbone drawn down. Slide your hands down towards your knees and just take your ear to your right shoulder and then your ear over to your left shoulder. So just allow a little bit of movement to come into our neck first of all. Just releasing any tension through the tops of the shoulders. Now have that feeling that you're pulling your hands down towards the ankles. And as you move your head from side to side, you're trying to keep the shoulders nice and still. And again, we're just going to do that once more. And then this time as you come over to your right, just bring your chin down towards your shoulder as if you're looking down the right hand side, keeping your tailbone gently tucked under so you feel the stretch come up into the back of the neck. Then bring the head into the centre, slide your hands down to your thighs, and then take your ear to your left, and then bring your chin over to your left shoulder without your right shoulder lifting. So pull the right hand down. So you're just trying to create that length and that space through the top of the neck and the shoulders. Then come into the centre. Fingers by your thighs, so your palms face back, your tailbone is tucked under, and I just want you to gently push the hands back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. So from the front to back, it looks like this. You're reaching down, you're pushing back and squeezing your shoulder blades together. Imagine you're pushing something heavy back and then trying to squeeze your hands into the centre. So you're just starting to bring that little stretch across the shoulders, a little connection into your mid-back. But be aware that when you do this, you don't push your rib cage forward. Drawing the tailbone under, so you've got a nice strong connection between your ribs and your hips. And just do a couple more here. Squeeze the palms together and then release. One more time. Squeezing and releasing. So again, with your shoulders drawn back and down, you're going to let both arms come out to the side and then pull into the centre. Lift the shoulders up. Slide your hands to your ankles and then press out to the side. Now as your hands come out to the side, you don't want your shoulders to lift up towards your ears. So when you slide the hands down, the shoulder blades pull down to the ribs. And you notice that when then your arms lift, your whole shoulder girdle doesn't lift up. So your hands no higher than your shoulders. Take a breath in and lift. And then breathe out, push away. Adding a heel raise. So lift the heels, place the heels down, and then lift the heels again. Breathing in through your nose, and then breathing out through your mouth. Breath in, breathe out, reach down to the ankles, then push away out to the side. Keeping your neutral spine. And one more time. Now we're going to keep the hands just pressing down towards the ankles, and you're going to move into your side bends. Now as we gently ease from side to side, we're trying to keep our hips nice and still. Both knees are staying soft, and your aim is to keep your weight even between both feet. Again, you can allow your ear to come towards your shoulder, but when you bring your ear towards your shoulder, try not to poke the chin forwards. You want to keep the chin tucked in, as if you're between two panes of glass, and you're moving directly from side to side. So moving through the waist, breathing in as you ease down, and then breathing out to rise. Breath in, out with a lift, once more each side, and then staying here in the centre. Your right foot steps forward, both arms lift. Knees are soft, draw your right arm out to the side, and then bring your hands back to your thighs. So your front knee bends, back heel's lifted, And when you turn to the side, you're trying to make sure your hips stay facing forward. Allow the head to turn with the arm. So again, we're still getting that rotation through our neck, through the upper back, but we've got stability through our hips. So again, when you step forward, the weight comes into the front leg. You're giving your bottom a little squeeze, and you're still trying to keep a nice neutral spine. A little easier is to keep the head facing forward. A little harder is to allow the head to rotate. Use the in-breath as you open the arm. So it's a nice big breath in across the front of the shoulder, and then the out-breath to come back into the centre. I'm going to do that once more on our left-hand side. And then we rest in the middle. Let's come into our foot pedals. So we come back into our neutral spine with the hips forward. Just do a couple of foot pedals. You're going to lift your right heel so your knee tracks in line with the toes without the hips dropping from side to side. So if I can only see your body from your hips and above, I shouldn't be able to tell that you're moving your legs. You're keeping the tailbone tucked under as you roll onto the ball of your foot. Now you can either stay here with just your feet, trying to keep the trunk of your body nice and still, or we can lift the arms. Arms stay in line with the shoulders. Shoulders are drawing down. You're going to lift your right heel and your left arm, and then come back into the centre. Aware that your shoulders haven't come forward of your ears. So you've still got that nice long spine. There's no movement through the hips. And again, if I couldn't see your arms and legs, and I could only see the trunk of your body, I shouldn't be able to tell that you're moving. Your arm stops just in front of the ear. And be aware that when you lift your heel, you're just coming onto the ball of your foot and not on to your outer toes. If you go onto your outer toes, you'll feel the knee pushes off to the side and it needs to push directly forwards. We're going to make this flow. We're going to start to alternate the arms and the legs. And if you feel the hips start to rock from side to side, just come back to the single arms and the single legs. Keeping your tailbone tucked under and keeping your ribs gently connected down towards your hips. So as you're lifting the arms, you're aware that you're not flaring your rib cage. Chin's gently drawn back towards the throat, so the crown of your head's pulling up towards the ceiling. Lots of breath in, and a nice strong breath out. A couple more on each side. Try not to rock from side to side, so it's a direct movement up and down. And into your last one, and then bring the hands down. Okay, from here, let's come to a hip hinge. So your feet stay under your hips, your tailbone tucks under, and it's the first part of a squat. Your hands come by your thighs. Your shoulder blades are drawing into the ribs. You're drawing your tummy in, and you're going to gently tip forward. From here, keeping the ribs still, float the arms to shoulder height, bring them back towards your thighs, and then bring your hips forward. So if you notice your knees don't move forward, it's your hips that move back. Your tailbone draws back, and then the arms lift, chin's tucked in, and then push through the heels to come forward. Breathing in through your nose, shoulders into the back of the ribs. And when you lift the arms, let your thumbs point towards the ceiling. So we start to feel how that works the muscles through the back, keeping our set position. Now from here we go a little deeper, so we're going to tip forward, then bend your knees as the arms come forward, and then push through both heels into centre. So tip, bend your knees, tailbone is tucked, and then push through both heels as you rise. So the breath is in, and then out. In through your nose, out through your mouth. We're going to add in our foot pedals at the bottom. So you're going to hold your squat here at the bottom, just lift your right heel, lower it down gently, and don't let those hips move. Then push through both heels as you rise. Breathing into your nose, out as your right heel lifts, into lower, out for your left heel, into lower, and then breathing out to rise. Again, you can add in the opposite arm. So you can lift your left arm. Try not to let the ribs flare. And as one arm moves, you're trying to keep the opposite arm nice and still. Trying to make sure you've still got your neutral position all the way through. And I know sometimes we tend to try and look at the screen, so the neck ends up in this position. Keep the chin nodded in. Don't rush. Push through both heels. And give me 2 more. Breathing in through your nose here. Out through your mouth. In through the nose. Out through your mouth. In through your nose. And breathe out to rise. One last time. And then we're going to add on a little bit more. If you want to stay here, stay here. We're going to try and lift both heels. So you're going to come into your squat. Lift the heels and the arms. Heels and hands down. And then rise. So you can break it down if you want to. When you lift your heels, try not to let the ankles roll apart. That's quite tough. So again, if you need less, one arm, one heel. Opposite arm, opposite heel. Let's go for another 3. Try and use the out breath as you lift. In breath to lower, out to rise. In through your nose, out through the mouth, in through your nose, and one last time. That's certainly got us warmed up already. And then step in. Give your legs a shake. Bring your right foot forward. Once you've taken your right foot forward, take it a little further forward. Now you're going to pull up your back kneecaps. This leg's really strong. From here, we lean forward, so our heart is over your front thigh, just the inside of your knee. Shoulders draw back and both hands come down. You're just going to simply lift one arm. Now what I want you to do is as you lift your arm, try not to grip with your toes. So put your weight into your heel, then lift the arm up. Be aware that when you're in this position, the ribs haven't dropped down. So you're lengthening. Toes are relaxed. You're breathing out through the mouth as the arm comes in around the shoulder and in as you lower. You can turn your head, but you're trying to keep that front knee nice and still. Gently pressing your knee outwards towards your little toe. Squeezing the back leg so it's nice and strong. And just feeling all that rotation coming through your upper back, but lots of stability through your pelvis. Once more. Weight into your front heel and step together. That's the hard bit. Now when you're ready, take your right foot back, keep the feet hip width, because if you stand directly behind that front foot, it's going to be a lot wobblier than it needs to be. Once you've taken your step, so you can take the front foot a little further forward, pull up your back knee. So rather than that back knee being bent, which engages the hamstrings, you're going to pull the kneecap up, so get a nice stretch down the back of your thigh, and then you're going to pull right up to the crown of your head, and drop back with your shoulders. Relax your toes first. Once you've got your balance, just start to lift the arm. Now your eye gaze should be about 2 foot in front of your toes. Your left knee gently pressing out towards the little toe. And you'll feel that as you press the knee out, it also lifts the arch of your foot. So if you do tend to be a little bit flat through your arches, you'll feel that your knee wants to collapse in more. So it's shifting the weight to the outer edge of the foot, keeping your big toe to the inside of this knee. And then once you've got your balance, maybe a little turn of the head. Think about lengthening, pulling up through the top of the head, lengthening all the way through your spine. Relaxing your toes. We start to grip with the toes to make it a little bit easier. Breathe out through the mouth. Keep the back of the neck nice and long. And again, just one more each side. So we start to find those balance muscles and then stability muscles around our hips. Step forward and release your legs. Let's come to some lunges and some arm circles. So for our lunges, we're going to step forward. We start in a set position and we make sure we've got a neutral spine to begin with. We're going to step forward and lift both arms. If your back's arched here, you need to get those hips tucked under so you've still got the hips and shoulders in line. You're going to lower into your back knee, then you're going to circle the arms and lift into the centre. Breathe in, lower your back knee, press your hands down, and then rise. Now again, we're trying to find a mild stretch through your left hip. Breathe in through the nose, and pull the shoulder blades right down to the back of your ribs. Keep pressing the front knee gently outwards. And draw the shoulder blades back and down. Press your palms down, and then lift. Just retuck your tailbone a tiny bit more, so you get that nice stretch. I say nice, loosely. Run all the way through the front of your hip, and maybe right down towards your knee. If you want to, you can lift your front heel, and then place the heel down. Forgot to rise. Breathe in, lift the heel, breathe out, and rise. Breath in, press down through the arms, heel down, and rise. 2 more. So you can keep the front heel flat on the floor. Remember, you're trying to find a stretch through the hips all the way through. And I forgot with the arms, they should have stayed there. And then you can step back and try it on the other leg. So when you're ready, bring your left foot forward. Now again, that knee will want to collapse in a little, so gently press it out so the arch of your foot is lifted. Square your hips and give your tailbone a little tuck under. Arms to shoulder height. Lower your back knee. Turn your palms down, press them towards your thighs, and then rise out of your lunge. Now just check your front knee stays over your heel. The movement comes from the back knee, lowering to the floor, and then lifting back and round your shoulders. Heel lift is your option, and as you bring the arms forward, the heel comes down. Think about the length, all the way from your tailbone to the top of your head. Feeling a stretch through the hips. And rising. 3 more. Keep the eye gaze forward. Use the breath, sink into your hips. Use the out breath. And once more, big breath in. Slowly, and breathe out. Step down, come together. Give your legs another little shake. And let's do wide squats next, then it's all lying down, I promise. Take your feet out wider than your shoulders. Now in this position, to keep your knees tracking in line with your toes, you do need to turn your feet out to a diagonal position. So about 5 past the hour. You're going to gently press your knees out, so again you feel your arches lift and your outer thighs and your glutes connect. Hands just by your thighs. Breathe in, open the arms. Breathe out, turn your palms back. Breath in and breathe out to rise. So as we open the chest, we turn our palms to the ceiling, we turn our palms back to the floor, and then press down to your thighs. Now, as you turn your palms up, feel your shoulder blades roll down into the back of your ribs. Keep the back nice and long. And just notice that when you turn your palms up, you don't push your ribcage forward. So they might not turn all the way up to the ceiling, but turn them as much as you can while you feel the movement comes through the shoulders and the upper back. Tailbone is tucked, feel the shoulders squeeze back and down, palms down and rise. Now this time, once you've turned your palms up, reach the arms up above the head, bring them back in line with your shoulders, turn your palms down and rise. Knees pushing out over the toes. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And if you don't want to lift the arms, just stay with that first part. Breathe in. Breathe out to rotate your palms up. Take a breath in as the arms lift. Breathe out to pull them down. Turn and rise. 2 more. When you turn your palms back to the floor, don't let your shoulders drop forward. Try and keep that sensation that your chest stays open. Now we're going to come down again. We're going to hold here. You're going to push out your heels and squeeze up through your arms. Nice big stretch. Breathing in, pull the shoulder blades down. Breathe out to rise. Pushing your knees out wide. And you can have a little glance, check your knees. Check your toes to the inside of your knees. So you really need to squeeze the knees out towards your little toes. Pull the hips down a little deeper if it feels okay. And then squeeze up through the bottom. Breathing in, breathe out, squeeze. 2 more. And then one last one. And then just bring the arms down, release the shoulders, and walk your feet in when you're ready. Okay, we're going to work our way down onto the floor. So you're going to come down the best way you possibly can. Once we're down onto the floor, we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to work with some double knee lifts and some single leg pulls, some stretching as well as strengthening. So as we come down to the floor, we find our neutral spine first of all. Once you're here, your feet want to be hip distance apart. Now it's not a bridge, so you don't want your feet close to your bottom. You want your knees about a 90-degree angle. Rest your head, rest your shoulders. Just give your pelvis a little rock backwards and forwards. So you feel like your pubic bone draws up towards your ribcage. You feel your lower back gently pressing into the floor. And you feel it gently lift away from the ground. So like we did standing, we tucked our tailbone under, flattened the lower back, and then came back into a neutral spine. This time as you come into your neutral spine, we're going to hold here. You're going to place your hands on your hip bones. Make sure the chin's nodded in and the shoulder blades are down into the back of your ribs. Breathe in. With your out breath, you're going to lift your right leg. Knee above your hip, take a breath in. With your out breath, your left leg lifts. Breathe in, lower your right foot, and then breathe out your left foot. Left foot first, breathe in to prepare. Out with your left, take another breath in, breathe out, lift the right knee. Breath in, your right foot comes down, out breath, your left foot. In to prepare. Out with your left, right knee stays at 90 degrees, so it stops above your hip. Then the opposite knee lifts, soft connection between your lower back and your mat, and then gently lower both feet back down. Now a little bit harder. As you lower your feet down, gently imprint your lower back, and so you can lower both feet together without your back lifting off the floor. Start with your left leg, up, again. Imprint your lower back and then gently lower the feet down. Breathe in. Out with your left. Take a breath in. Breathe out. Draw the belly button down to the spine. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, lower both feet slowly, not allowing the back to lift. And if you find it difficult to lower both feet, just stick with one foot and then the other. And it's slow. So you're resisting your back lifting as you lower your legs. Starting to feel that little core connection. In for the lift, out, breath in, and then breathe out to lower. Once more. So hopefully you're starting there to feel the work your abdominals do to keep that lower back into the ground as you resist the movement of your legs. Rest there. From here, we're going to tuck in our chin, lift the head and the shoulders. You're going to bring your right knee in towards your chest and take your left leg out. Take a breath in from here. As you breathe out, you're going to push your leg away, take the arms wide, and then pull the knee back into the chest. Breath in and open, out breath to come forwards. Now if you need less, you can rest your head on the floor, and each time you're just gently trying to pull the knee in towards your chest. Open the arms, and you want to keep your ribs gently pulled down towards your hips. Give me 2 more on this leg. Squash the ribs to the hips, keep the chin tucked in. Once more. And then from here, let your foot come down Let your head come down, bending both knees. Reset the shoulders, draw your opposite knee in, take your other leg out straight, lift your head and shoulders, gently draw the belly button down. Now again, you're going to breathe in, open the arms, and then breathe out, come back into the centre. Now keep your opposite leg nice and strong. If you need less, let the head rest down. And as you're pushing your leg away, you're trying to get the back nice and still. Breathing into open, out with the left. Gently hugging the knee in a little bit further each time. And see if you can lift your shoulders a little higher off the floor as the knee comes in, and then slowly open. I'm sure you can guess where we're going next. Rest here, hug both knees in, rest your head. We're going to go into the double leg pull. If you prefer, just keep one foot down and just come back to that movement. You can do 5 on each side, or we're going to do 10 with both knees. So one leg or both legs. Knees are hug in, head lifts, ribs squash down towards the hips. You're going to breathe in, open, and then breathe out to close. Try and get your eye gaze towards your thighs. Feel the gentle pressure between your lower back and your mat. And if you're keeping your back down towards the floor, you might want to bring your legs a little bit lower. Aware that as you bring your legs lower, you're not lifting your back. 3 more. Big breath in, strong breath out. In through the nose, out through your mouth, and one more time. And then gently bring your feet down. This time you're going to bring your feet close. We're going to come into our spinal roll for our bridge. So I'm going to start with the first part. We're going to let the neck, the shoulders all relax. Drawing the shoulder blades down to the back of your ribs, and then gently press the back of your ribs down to the floor. Now keeping your rib cage still, we just do our pelvic tilt again. So you're going to point your hip bones up towards your head, so you feel your lower back touch the floor, and then press your tailbone back down, so you feel your lower back's lifting. And again, as you're doing this movement through your lower back, shoulders, ribs, stay nice and still. Now this time as you tilt, you're going to allow your bottom to lift. And remember, it's a roll. You just roll into your first rib, so the back of your rib cage is down, and then you go through your imprint, and then back to your start position. So the imprint first, your pelvic tilt, roll up the first rib, and then try and place each vertebrae down as individually as you can. Just watch the head doesn't tip back as you start to roll up. And then just checking on the knees that the hips stay in line with your hips. Then we're going to take our roll a little higher. So you're going to tuck under your tailbone, roll through your lower back, and continue to lift now so you come up to your shoulders. Here, we want to keep our connection to our core. If you arch into your back and flare your ribs, these muscles have become longer and switched off a little. So don't come too high, and then roll back down through each vertebrae. So if you imagine that string of pearls, each vertebrae, each pearl lifts one at a time. You're squeezing your bottom, knees are in line with the hips, and you're gently rolling back down. The hands come in by your thighs. At the top this time, we take a double arm float. So your hips, shoulders, knees are in line. You're going to breathe in without letting the ribs flare, take the arms back overhead. Breathe out, bring the arms down, and roll back through your spine. Now press evenly through both heels. Lift the arms, keep the arms nice and long. And then lower the hips as you bring the arms down. Let's take those arms into circles this time. So from the top here, you're going to reach back. You're going to circle your hands back to your thighs, and then lower back down through your spine. Use the out breath as you rise. Press down to the shoulders. Pull the shoulders down to the back of your ribs. Hands rest, and then hips roll back down. If you want to, you can lift one heel, circle the arms, and then place the heel down. Lift the opposite heel. Lift the arms again, circle the arms. Heel comes down and then roll back through your spine. So we do 2 circles at the top if you're doing the heel raise. Squeeze the bottom, lift your right heel. Try not to let the ribs move away from the hips. Your right heel comes down. Lift your left heel without your weight rocking from side to side. Nice big stretch through the shoulders. Your heel comes down and then roll down through your spine. 2 more. Breathe out on your lift. Take a breath in, lift the heel, the arms. Breathe out, circle. Heel places back down. Left heel lifts, breathe in. And again, breathe out to circle. Hands reaching down towards the ankles. Heel down and then roll back through your spine. Once more with a single heel lifts. So again, we're just building up different levels. Keeping that stability and strength through the back of your body and not rushing. And when you change heels, you shouldn't feel that your body moves. Now we are going to do 4 more. We're going to stay with 2 circles and you're going to try and lift both heels. If not, stay with one heel then the other. So when you rise into your bridge, lift both heels up, squeeze the bottom. Try and keep the trunk of the body as still as possible. And then go again, lift the arms up. Press down evenly through both feet. And then roll down, heels down first, and roll through the spine. Remember, when you roll down, you're still searching for the imprint. So as your heels lift, your bottom squeezes. Not allowing the ribs to come with the arms. Let the breath just come into your tummy. And then breathe out, heels down. And then roll back down through your spine. Through the mid-back to your imprint and then to neutral. And it's that roll down where you really start to feel the tummy muscles have to control the movement. Thinking about the stillness of your body as you circle the arms. And again, heels down first and then roll through each vertebrae. That's the nice bit. The hard bit, but the nice bit. Once more. Squeeze the bottom. Lift the heels if you want to. Breathe in as the arms reach up. And then breathe out to pull the shoulders down. Hands rest. Heels lower. And then roll back through your spine. Bring your knees into your chest when you're ready. Just gently hugging the knees in. Pressing your knees down towards your chest, but not forcing them. Just feel that mild release through your lower back. So from here, we're going to continue some work through our back, and we're going to do that in an all fours position. So we're going to take a roll over, but before you do, it might be easier if you just have a little look. We're going to start simple. Just never ends that way, I'm afraid. So your hands are under your shoulders and you're going to spread your fingers. Just have a look at the shoulders. Now once we're here, we need to push our eye gaze and our nose past our fingertips. The back stays nice and long. Your job is to just bring one arm forward without letting the shoulders collapse. Harder than it looks. So when you're ready, you're going to come into your box position, spread your fingers, and then you want your shoulders right over the heels of your hands. Knees are hip distance apart, and again you can rest your hands on a little towel if you have issues with your wrists. Let your body weight gently come forward, and then draw your belly up to your back so you're holding neutral. Elbows are soft, and feel like you're pushing yourself away from the floor but not locking out the arms. So much to think about. Breathe in when you're ready. As you breathe out, you're just going to turn your thumb to the ceiling and reach your arm forward, and then lift your arm just by your ear, your fingertips to the floor, and then your hand back under your shoulder. Changing sides without allowing your body to rock from side to side. Now when you bring the arm forward, if you're a little tight through the shoulder, you might feel that your back arches. So only take the arm as far as you can while you're keeping your tummy muscles switched on to maintain this neutral spine. Now make sure you bring the hand back under your shoulder. The hand starts to come further forward, and it literally means you could lift here all day long without putting any work into your core. So make sure the hands come back and your weight pushes forward. Use the out breath to lengthen. Keep breathing out with the lift. Now just check your head hasn't started to drop. Sometimes, because we're in this position a lot of the time, the muscles of the neck get a little bit weaker and the head naturally wants to drop down. So while you're in this position, you're keeping your ears lifted in line with your shoulders. It helps to strengthen those muscles in the back of the neck too. Last two, so you can push your nose a little further forward with your fingertips. Keep pushing away from the floor. And one more left on each side. Find that length first, then lift. And your last one here. And then just gently ease your hips back to your heels. Now try and tuck under with your tailbone, so again you're lengthening through your lower back. If you're a little tight here through your lower back, you'll feel that you end up more in a ski slope position. So it might help to just tuck the tailbone under first and ease back to where you can. You might be able to get the hips right back to the heels, but making sure you've got that nice curve into the lower back. Then you can let your elbows ease to the floor, breathing in, and then breathing out as you sink down a little further. Now try and walk your fingers forward. Press your fingertips into the floor as if you're trying to grip the floor, and then just gently pull your hips back a little further. From here, we're going to come down, so we're going to come forward. Bring your weight forward, lower yourself down to the floor, just bending your elbows. The good thing is you only have to lower yourself once. The bad thing is once you're here, you're in the perfect position for a plank. So your elbows are going to be under the shoulders. Now it might help just bring your fists together, and first of all, pull the shoulder blades back. Like a little turtle, you're trying to lengthen your back of your neck and keep the neck nice and long. Pull your hips up. Tuck under your toes. And again, if your back arches because your tailbone's stuck up, you need to tuck the tailbone under and get that feeling of lengthening your lower back again. Now you can stay here, comfortably on your knees, making sure the hips, the shoulders and the ears stay in line, or you can lift both knees off the floor. If your knees lift off the floor, squeeze your thighs. We're going to gently rock forwards, so you're pushing onto your tiptoes, and then come back with your shoulders above your elbows. Breathe out to push forward, breathe in to ease back. Just rolling forward onto the balls of your feet, and then gently pressing back to the heels. So we get a nice little calf stretch at the same time. I'm sure that really matters to you right now. Give me two more little rocks, or just stay nice and centred, or come back down onto your knees. Holding here. Press down through the elbows, drop through the belly. Bring your right hand under your shoulder, then your left hand under your shoulder, and bring your knees in. Take a cat stretch, but don't just round your upper back. Push your chest forward, start with your tailbone, tuck under, draw the belly up to the spine, and then allow your chin to tuck in. And then a little reverse the opposite way. Come to neutral first. Remember, we're always quite flexible through that upper back. So let's try and get the movement in the lower back first. Let your hip bones point up towards your elbows. Just easing through each vertebrae, just like we did in our bridge. One more time. Breathe in, tailbone tucking, and then rolling. And take that nice big cat stretch at the top. Then rest midway. Tuck under your toes. Walk your hands back. And when you're ready, just rolling onto your heels. Tip forward from your hips. Now keep the knees bent. You can either support yourself with your elbow and your thighs and straighten the legs a little bit more, or you might want to keep your fingers down on the floor. So while you're here, you're just trying to lengthen and open the back of your body. Find your breath. Nice big breath in. Let's roll all the way up your spine. And as you breathe out, let your chest sink a little deeper towards your thighs. Lifting your belly button up towards your back so your back stays really supported. Now bringing the chin up back towards your knees. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. Weight into both heels. Bend your knees first so your hips slide back. Tuck under your tailbone and then start to restack. So that should roll really nicely now. After all the bridges. And then as you come to the top, just allowing the head to lift and the shoulders to roll back and down. And then from here, just breathe in, lift the arms, reach up to the ceiling, and then breathe out, pull the shoulders back down. Knees are nice and soft, a little tuck under the bottom. And the next time you reach up towards the ceiling, I'm going to kneel down because I'm chopping my head off. You're going to squeeze the bottom, press your hands together. Take a gentle side bend to your right, but don't push the hips off to the left. Keep the hips stacked into the centre and then over to the opposite side. So you just physically feel your rib lifting away from your hip, not letting the hips slide. And once more each side. Squeeze your bottom, anchor down through your heels. And again, as you ease across the side, just relax your neck, relax the shoulders. And then come into the centre and just release. Pick them up and let them go. Once more. And definitely give yourselves a big clap, ladies and gents. Well worked. Very well worked. I've definitely broke into a sweat this morning.